the situation is unusual, we'll turn these dark ones into light ones like this. Yes, I lost a nail in an uneven battle with a big package from the delivery service. It didn't survive. Well, it happens. It's nothing serious. We'll start our manicure by picking off these bumps, as many people called them. By the way, I thought they were metal, but it turned out they were plastic. You see, they got really worn down, even though I covered them with a thick layer of top coat, like a drop. Well, it happens. The nails were worn, they had a good run, it's nothing serious. Next, we have this new nail file from Nippon Nippers for review. It has their new blue abrasive, which is really pretty and has such a nice shade. But the most important thing is to test this file right here in the video. It's actually my first time ever using it, and we'll be testing it together with you. Foam works well, everything stuck and removed perfectly. I test it by filing the gel. If it's comfortable and easy, I continue and know the file works well. And so the abrasive itself didn't crumble or fall off, and it lasted me until the very end of the manicure. And with all that, I was really filing these nails because later I'll go over them with the file again to even them out, and then I'll shape the nails. Here I removed it with a bit. I'm using a Christmas tree shaped one. I won't say the brand just yet. That's my little secret. By the way, I'm showing the undersides, and this is how the undersides have held up. After applying the top coat, I think the result is excellent. Next, I'm filing again, now on the second hand. Here, I wasn't trying to file perfectly for the video. I'm just filing like I normally do in real life, quickly. As you can see, it doesn't look very aesthetic because the removal is for the video. Yes, when you're showing how it works, when you're just filing, it looks so different, and in the end it even looks a bit messy, I would say, but still. So I'm still testing the bit. I'm satisfied with it so far, but let's keep it a mystery. Okay, we've restored the lost nail, just quickly using a dual form with a grown-out nail effect. I'll explain why now. Yes, Pusher, if you need it, take a screenshot, remember it and all that. I'll explain why now. I extended the nail in the same black color and also created the effect of a grown-out part. I understand we're not removing these nails now, we're just making a correction. So right now we're imitating or modeling a situation where a client comes to you after getting nail extensions, for example, with an upper form or even a lower one. Well, basically after a situation like this, when you used, like I did, black gel, it happens, it really does. And after that, what did she do? She booked an appointment just for a correction. So let's say we don't have time for a full removal and re-extension. We just don't have that option. We have to work with what we have. And what we have are dark, grown-out nails. Black, you could say, smoky, graphite colored. And now, after having dark nails, of course she wants something light. Write in the comments if you have clients who love this kind of thing. I wore dark nails, now I want light ones. Yes, well, in almost 90% of cases, people love to do that, either going from bright to light or from dark to light. They always switch to nippers, by the way. Yes, this is one of those times when I use nippers. Lately, it's been all about scissors. Here is a new degreaser from Imai that they sent me, and I'm going to try it out as well. By the way, you can share your feedback if you have the same degreaser. And let's get started with our correction, which will take into account this black part. And let me remind you, yes, our special task is to turn the dark ones into light ones. I'll use the Sculpt Medium Base as a foundation. In general, the base is elastic, soft, and will work great as a base layer. The brush is rounded oval. In general, it fits the shape of the cuticle perfectly. The base is from the Emmy brand. I've only recently started working with this brand. I'm still getting to know it, and here as well. Gamma Base is a very interesting product. I actually read about it. So to sum it up, it's kind of a base, but at the same time, it's not really a base because it's a hard product. Of course, I would call it a gel in a bottle, but the manufacturer wrote it differently. Okay. The main property of this material is that it's a hard product, which is suitable for strengthening long nails, for corrections like the ones we're doing now, for applying on natural nails as well, and also for extensions. Well, basically it's just a gel, but it has a nice dense shade. It's colored, it levels out very quickly, and it pinches. The only thing is, as you can see, I got some bubbles because I opened the bottle many times and shook it to get the brush out. It looks nice on video. So we've built up our nails, but now I'll show you what the surprise will be. And here is our solution. I took several shades from the collection where they're all kind of dusty, coffee, beige, basically just really nice colors. And one is a one-phase gel. I'm applying a thin layer of base, and now I'm going to spread our texture here. And you can probably already see that there's black showing around the edges, meaning it's a solid color. There's absolutely no way to leave it like this because it would look just awful. Here I used a brush for gradients and an empty pen without, without a refill, without ink basically. Well, you could use some kind of tube instead. Basically the idea is that on the wet base we used as a foundation, we spread our colored gels, which were previously mixed on a palette, using a gradient brush, and this gives us this kind of texture. And now I'm showing some life hacks on how to remove the excess volume, because we definitely don't need it here. And these kinds of designs are very risky because you end up with a thick nail plate. And all your filing, well, it's like you didn't even file at all, right? So we remove everything in different ways. We take a look at our nightmare, the one we got after filing, and this right here, this is a bad option. By the way, I'm showing the brush that didn't work here. I wiped everything off afterwards and thought I should take a break. I degreased everything and assessed the damage again. Things aren't looking great here. I'm showing you the undersides, by the way. This is how they held up, and now I'm going to quickly file them too, right here, with the same Christmas tree bit I used to remove them. Well, basically, I did everything here with just one bit. I didn't even take out the others. I really got into using this Christmas tree bit, filed out the natural nail. There's no need to save them. I cleaned up all the undersides and started on the design. I took the gradient brush again and decided not to experiment anymore. And now I'm going to cover up the traces of shame, or rather the remnants of my previous manicure, and just like that. Well, in my opinion, this is one of the options when you can cover it up. Of course, I could have covered it with the same dark color, but the client has a request and I don't have time to redo the extensions. So here's a little life hack for you to use. If you found it helpful, be sure to write something, give me a like, or leave me a comment. I used materials from the IMI brand in my work. By the way, I'll show you another top coat that turned out to be really useful here, since our texture added some unevenness. I'm showing this on purpose right now. See? So there's a bit of volume, of course it's not much. I removed everything I could, but still there's some unevenness. And of course we can't cover this with a thin top coat, so we use Prime Top Gel. This top coat is actually meant for covering designs. It doesn't run and it allows you to even out the surface really well. So this is exactly what we need. You can also use it to cover all sorts of sliders, and it's really good for covering French designs too, because sometimes there's a little step there. Especially when you're painting not with gel paint, but with gel polish, which is exactly what I do. I actually prefer gel polish for this. So basically it's a top coat that lets you do a bit of extra leveling. I'll show you how it works now. I applied a thin layer and now I'm adding a small drop and spreading it out. And that's how it all works conveniently. Next is a questionable life hack. I don't know, I hope no one gets offended by this. But for those who find square caps inconvenient, I just suggest removing them. Yes, it looks completely different, but again, it's a personal choice, a matter of convenience. In the end, I decided for myself that I'll probably remove the caps. Of course, they look really nice sitting on the shelves. Yes, I can imagine how beautiful that would look in a salon that works with a single brand. It's really cool. They all stand there, so neat, pretty and identical. But for application, you can try this little life hack. And let me know, maybe some of you are already using this little secret. Next, we have cuticle oil. We're going to apply it. Now everyone is going to freak out because I'm using the brush straight from the bottle. But I want to remind you that manicures are meant for people who don't have any illnesses. Obviously, no one is going to apply this oil to unhealthy nails or any kind of fungal infections. There are completely different products for those cases. Here we have perfectly healthy, normal hands. No one is sick and everything is absolutely fine. I already filed the undersides as I showed you before and then covered them with top coat again. And this is the manicure and design we ended up with. Well, what can I say? I'm expecting haters in the comments, and of course normal people are always welcome too. Bye bye.